Hello and welcome. Janet Beckers here with a total teaching episode this week of Romance Your Tribe Radio. And today we're going to look at a really common problem that is going to strike every entrepreneur at some time. And that is absolute overwhelm from all of the things that you need to do and trying to make that decision on which things I need to do and which things I shouldn't. And you know what, if that sounds like you, if you've ever got to that point where you're thinking, you know what, I'm busy, I'm running a business or I'm trying to grow a business, and then I have family, I have a personal life, I have dreams of actually just chilling out but at the same time I'm trying to grow my business, I'm trying to create new programs and learn this whole internet marketing thing, and every time I open up my email there is another email telling me about this fantastic, really good strategy that I really should be doing, and they work, so how do you know which of the things are going to be the things that you should be focusing on? So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to share with you my 8-step system for getting out of overwhelm. Now, total transparency here, I get overwhelmed too. I wouldn't be human if I didn't. We all do. But the thing is, if you get stuck, and trying to make those decisions is kind of makes you get stuck and you can't move forward. If you don't get unstuck and you stay there for too long, your business is really going to get damaged. You cannot afford to stay there just staring into space going, oh, what do I do? It's all too much. You can't do it. So you need to have a system to get you out of that overwhelm quickly so you can move on and get shit done. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you, that 8-step process to get that stuff done and get over the overwhelm. So I use this exact same process myself, and I use this with my clients, and I'm also going to share with you, as well as the 8 steps, I'm also going to share with you some other articles that I've done that can help you to totally nail some parts of it if you find that's your challenge. And I've also got for you a gift that's going to help you to really implement this and get unstuck really, really fast, like a 30-minute job. So let's get stuck into it. Now, I know how busy you are, and the thought of learning an 8-step process to get out of overwhelm could be overwhelming. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to whip through this quick. So that is my intention, to give it to you, just no fluff. All right, so get ready. You can take notes, but I'm also, if you're listening to this on iTunes or if you're watching the video on wherever it is, just know if you come over to the blog post that goes with this, I've got those 8 steps there all for you laid out, and the links to everywhere else that you can go to get the extra resources so you can just get stuff done. All right, are you ready? Get that stopwatch ready now. Okay, here we're going to go through the 8 steps. Number 1, decide what your number 1 focus priority is at the moment. Now, when I say at the moment, that could be like this week, or it could also be in the next 90 days. I like to work in 90-day periods. That's what I do with my VIP clients. We plan on 90 days. But what is your absolute number 1 focus? Now, to give you an idea here, and we're not talking narrow, like tasks, we're talking about your priorities. So, for example, it might be content creation and authority building, creating enough visibility out there to show, this is what I do. But what if you look ahead the next few weeks and you go, oh bugger, I can't see any money coming in. I've got all these bills, no cash. Well, your priority is not authority building. Your priority is to get some cash in, baby. It's income. Now, what happens if you're going, I can see this is coming up, but I don't have an audience to sell to? Well, your priority is list building. So that's going to be your priority. You might have, another thing might be, I'm starting to, I'm going to get ready to launch a new program, or I'm going to be opening up a new business, or I'm going to be expanding some part, or I'm going to change things. Well, your priority might be, you've got to make some decisions around you know, you've got to do some of the research. You've got to work out what is it that people want, and you've got to do that planning so that you can then take action. That may be your number one thing. Or your number one thing might be, if only I had the time to do this stuff, because my business is so flat out. I am booked out. I cannot book another person in. I need to expand my team so that I can free up my time to do all of these other things. Well, that may be your top priority. You may not be able to implement anything else until you can make your top priority about getting the right team members. So that's what I mean when I talk about what is your number one priority, because we're going to use that in all of the rest of the steps to act as your filter. So that's your number one. What is your absolute number one focus, your big priority in terms of the major outcomes that you need in your business? All right. Step number two, whipping right along, folks. Step number two is get all of that stuff out of your head, okay? All of those things that you have got floating around in your head, acting as some serious sort of mental wardrobe clutter. Now, get them all out onto paper or a spreadsheet or a whiteboard, whatever works for you. Just get them out, okay? Because as long as you've got one of those ideas floating around there in that space, it's going to distract you and you won't be able to stay clear on what you're doing. So all of those things that you've been thinking about, you know, if they're all the different list building projects that you've been thinking of, the kind of programs that you could be creating, the formula that you've thought of that's your signature forum, the podcast that you've been thinking about doing, the Facebook ads, running a retreat, running a workshop, running webinars, all of those things that you have in your brain as your business bucket list, or your to-dos, or your should-dos, could-dos, get them all out, okay? Get them onto that list, because now we're going to look at step number 3. Step number 3 is I want you to look down all of that list of things that you have been going around in your head, using up all of your energy, keeping you just stuck. Now I want you to go back to number 1, where we worked out what was your number 1 focus, your big thing that you really need to be focusing on as a priority in your business. Now, go down that list, and anything that does not directly contribute to that number 1 thing, I want you to move it aside, okay? You can put it over there and you can make decisions on that later. It may very well be that that's going to be the one that you look at in the next 90-day period. Or you're going to look at that when you've done the things where your priorities may change. Because if they're not focusing on the thing that is really important to you at the moment, which might be bringing in some income, making the sales, or it might be getting that list so you've got an audience, whatever it is, go and put it over somewhere else. It can come back. It can wait, because it's not that important, because it's not your number 1 priority. Really, really important to do. Now, this is where it comes into, and I will have a link down here for you, to the Book of Squirrels, because there's going to be some things there that you go, oh, but I really, really, really want to do that one right now because it's fascinating, it's interesting, it's so cool. You need somewhere to put that, and that is the Book of Squirrels. So I've got a link there for you to explain what is the Book of Squirrels and how do you use it, and what is important to put in there that is more than just a list. So you can go and check out that one. All right, now we have a list of ones that are only related to your major outcome for this period of time. Number 4. Right, now what we've got to do before we can make any more decisions here, I want you to look at what your available resources are. For example, do you already have an offer that's already ready to go? This is just say if you're focusing on making money. Do you have an offer? Do you have some kind of program? Do you have a sales page, or do you have a brochure, or do you have a process to get people onto a sales call? Things like, do you already have that? Awesome. Then you've already got some kind of resource, some sort of asset there. Do you have somebody that you can get to do that stuff for you? Or do you already have something nearly all finished? This is really typical with list building. Have you got nearly everything finished, but you just haven't put the opt-in page, or you haven't worked out how to drive traffic, or done Facebook ads, any of that sort of stuff? Is that it? That's what missing? So what things have you already got created, or already have the processes for, or already have people who can do those things for you? What have you already got? What's your bandwidth? What are the skills that you've got that you can already be bringing to, to be able to use some of these, do some of these tasks. So that's really important to be aware of what you do have. Okay, we're not looking at what you don't have. I'm sure that stuff goes through your head all the time. We're looking at what have you already got, what assets, what resources, what abilities, what people. So who have you already got? Okay, so that was number 4, assessing the resources that are already available. All right, now we go to number 5, and I've got a really, really good free tool for you that goes with this podcast episode, and it's my free Chaos to Clarity tool. This is a 1-page sheet, a PDF, that once you've got that, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can do the process that can take you about 30 minutes. So this is what I want you to do in a nutshell. First of all, go and get that. It's going to make life so much easier for you. Now, the thing that you want to make it a thing here is I want you to have a look at all of those things that you've got on your to-do list that relate to your number 1 priority. And I want you to go through them, and I want you to give them a rating. I mean, the tool that I've got for you helps you to do all of this, but I want you to assess how much impact is each one of those going to make. So if your goal is to bring in some cash, how, out of all of those, which one's going to give you the greatest amount of cash? That's the impact that you're going to have. If it's list building, which one of these is going to give me the most people on my mailing list? That's impact, okay? Don't think about all of the other yes buts. All we're looking at is the impact on there. Now, the other thing I want you to do is go and rate them all as well for how easy they are. And that ease, so with ease, it could be how fast can you do it, how simple you can do it. Like from you thinking, yeah, I'm going to do that, to actually it happening, how easy or hard is that going to be? You're going to have some things that, I could get this finished today and it's done, or I could outsource it to somebody else and they can get it done really, really quick. Or you know what, that's actually going to take a long time because I don't have the skills to do that, and I don't have anybody I know who's got the skills. I'm going to have to find somebody to do it, blah, blah, blah. Or, I can do that, but, I know that it's going to take a bit of a lead-up time to do the job properly. So that's how you work out how easy it is. So you want to look at what sort of impact it has, and then what sort of ease is involved. Now, again, go and have a look at the Chaos to Clarity tool. You can get it by going to www.romanceyourtribe.com/chaos. So CHAO, it's like chaos. That's probably what's in your brain at the moment. So go over there and you'll be able to get that tool. Now, again, there's going to be some things here that you're going to look at and you go, you know what, that one, it's not really going to have that much of an impact and it's a lot of work. I think I'm going to ditch it. Or some other things you're going to go, you know what, that could be super good, but not really at the moment. I'm going to put it in the book of squirrels, or I'm going to make it and I'm going to plan it for later. The tool that I've got for you makes that decision of which ones to ditch, which ones to implement, which ones you're going to get, may not get as big an impact, but you can do them super quick. They may only be a half-hour job. So yeah, let me do that. So that tool works all of that out for you. Okay, so that got us to, that was step number 5. By this time, you should be a lot calmer because you've been able to take any of the emotions out of what you're doing, and you're making the decisions on what you're going to be doing as your priorities based on actually looking at, impact and ease. And especially if you use the tool, you're taking even more out of it. You'll have a number, and then you can just plug that in and you'll know straight off. So now you'll have an idea about what your priorities are in what order. Now, let's get this stuff happening, baby. So that's going to move us on to the next steps. So the next step, number 6, is do a 90-day plan. Now, it's one thing to go, this is what I'm going to do, and then just start working on it. That's really, really typical to do. But what you want to do is you want to work out, actually, what is the outcome? How do I know when I've done this? And why am I doing this? So I'll put a link down to you below to what I've another article I've got on goal setting, really smart goal setting, but not smart as in the whole acronym, but for good better, best goals and how they get used. Because this is what we do with my clients. We work all the time on 90-day plans, and that directs everything we're doing, and it's what we use for assessing. And for each of those, we create good, better, best goals for the whole 90 days, but also for every single month. So you know exactly what you're aiming for to get done. So it's one thing to know what you've got to do, but the other thing is to actually get it done. So that 90-day plan is a really powerful tool, and it makes you stay focused until you've got it done. And you know if all of your effort has been successful because of the goals that you've set. So use the good, better, best. This is something that I use with my VIP clients. It's part of our Rising Stars programs. Is we work all on 90-day plans, and we have 90-day planning days, and we have 90-day review calls. But it's also part of my Clear Time program, which is one module where I've got all of these resources and my actual process for being able to get things done without burning out and to be calm. So I'll put a link down for you below so you can go and check that out. It will be also at romanceyourtribe.com/clear. So if you can go there, you'll be able to see and check out that program. That may be really, really helpful for you, because I've got all templates for all the templates and the worksheets and everything for doing 90-day plans, and also the 90-day review process, which is really important. So that brings me over to the next one, which is step number 7, is you need to have a process for reviewing and accountability, because otherwise you can just keep on being busy and really just spinning your wheels. You want to be effective. So as well as knowing that you're focusing on the things that's going to give you the outcomes that are the most important in your business, you're also going to be looking at, what was I talking about here? And what's important in your business. You're also going to be looking at your goals and have you met them. And so you need to have some kind of review process, but not just a review process that goes, oh yeah, that was my goal, X number of revenue, or X number of people on my mailing list, or 1 new staff member starting on this date, whatever it is that you've had as your priority. That's not enough. You need to have a review process that goes deeper, that allows you to look at why you did get the goal or why you didn't, and really sort of dive a bit deeper about why is there success or why isn't there success happening. So you need a review process that's going to do that for you. So that's a big thing that we do in the Clear Time program as well. So you can check that out if you need some extra help with that one. But make sure you've got some kind of review and somebody that's going to hold you accountable. Now the next one, and this really ties in with all of this, and this is something that we actually do during the 90-day planning process, is decide how are you going to celebrate. How are you going to celebrate you focusing on what you said that you were going to be doing? And what are you going to be doing if you reach your good goal, your best goal, your better goals? How are you going to celebrate? Decide that at the beginning, because that's one thing we do so poorly as entrepreneurs, is we keep on looking to the next to do, the next to do, the next to do. And if you don't want to get overwhelmed again, you need to make sure that you take time to acknowledge and celebrate. Now, I've got a link here for you as well to a really great article that I share the celebration box, the way that I work with my clients for a way that we can celebrate that takes a lot of, you're making judgment calls out of what you do. And I've also got there, I've asked all of these different friends of mine to share what they do as a way of celebrating. And so you've got, I think it's about 100 ideas. So go over there. So I've got the link there for you in this article as well. So that gets us to the last part. So in quick summary for you, these are the 8 steps. Decide what your number one focus is on at the moment, the number one priority that you need to be really doing in your business. Then get out of your head a huge list of absolutely everything that is floating and buzzing around in there in your could do, should do, would do list. Then number 3, compare everything that's on that list against your number one priority, and only include those ones that relate to your big goal. Then I want you to assess your available resources so you've got an idea of how easy it's going to be for you to do certain things. Then I want you to rate each of those things that are on that list for the impact that they can have on your major goal, your major focus, and how much ease it's going to take for you to get those done. So, and then it allows you to be able to rank them so that you can do the things that are going to have the biggest impact with the greatest ease. Then you're going to be number 6, is you're going to take action, and to do that you need to have a plan, which is your 90-day goal, 90-day plan, and we're going to be setting goals at the end of that, but also for the milestones each month in between. Then we're also going to be doing a review process, that's number 7, and accountability, so that you can actually look back and see, did I meet my goals, didn't I meet them, why or why not, so that I can improve next time. And then the very last one is we're going to plan to celebrate and tie that in with your achievements so that you're going to be effective rather than just busy, so that you're not going to be overwhelmed, that you're going to stay focused on the things that are most important for you. Okay, so that is Janet's 8-step process for getting out of overwhelm, getting stuff done, and getting a life without you burning out and without your business suffering because you are stuck. So I've got a few resources here that I've mentioned for you. The number one for you to go and check out is romanceyourtribe.com/chaos, because that's going to give you my one-page chaos to clarity decision tool that's going to help you to work through that process to be able to know what are your number ones, what's your number one thing that you're going to get the best results from, so you can make a decision and get going. So that's the great thing for you to be able to start with, and I would love to hear from you. Does this help? Leave your comments down below, or find me over on Messenger, or drop me an email, whatever floats your boat. But let me know. I'd really love to hear if this helps you, and any other great tips that you may have for other people who may be listening or watching. That's going to help them as well, because I'm sure you've got some really good ideas as well. Okay, go get them, folks. Bye.